Hey, are we all here and can hear each other? Can we hear each other?
Hi.
Yeah.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear both of you.
Awesome.
This is so great. So
we got it.
we're doing this our first time ever, and 3 people, and learning this has been really fun. I hope everyone can hear us on Facebook Live. If you could just leave us a comment under the Facebook Live and let us know you can hear us, that would be great. And we were dealing with some technical difficulties the last few minutes, and we all collaborated to get this working. So leave us a comment if you can hear us so we know. I hear you, Lexi. Thank you.
Lexi.
Thank you. Yes. This is so exciting.
Good.
Yes. Hey, are we all here and can hear each other? Why am I being repeated?
I'm just trying to watch it on my Facebook so I can see any questions that are popping up.
I feel like you should sing one of your songs right now, Barry. Just like frequency songs.
You are, I don't, you just put me on the spot like that.
The mixer.
The frequencies are just coming through really loud and clear lately. And we're happy to be here today and share some of our experiences with all of you guys and actually hear some feedback too, like what your experiences have been having. Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to drop a song right now, but I'm happy to chat. And
that's perfect. That's what we agreed on anyways. We are having a conversation today.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll sing another time, who knows? Maybe we'll break out into song halfway through.
Right.
Genius.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I just want to say hello, and I'm Madison, and introduce myself for those that don't know me. Get a chance for us to all do that here. And feel free to comment and let us know where you're from, when you did your Catalyst program, so we can kind of see who's all here together. So for me, I've been with the Reconnection for 6 months in this community. I am officially a Reconnective healing practitioner. I just did my Catalyst in Palm Springs with these lovely gentlemen here. And I've been living in the frequencies since April.
Cool. Barry, your turn.
Yes, I found the frequencies in Palm Springs where I live. It was happening and I heard about it and signed up right away. It's been really a fun process, a great opportunity to meet a lot of people and to be part of a community. And I feel like being part of this community is accelerating the power that I feel from the frequency. So it's great to connect here and share these.
Cool, awesome. So my name's Oliver, and I went to the Catalyst event in Palm Springs as well. It was really, really beautiful. It was so nice to meet so many like-minded people, people that are on a similar path in their life and or want to kind of have some sort of healing in their life. So it was really, really refreshing to meet people that are very positive about this whole work and want to make this a really, really big part of their life. So I'm very happy, and also happy now to share with you guys. And yeah, it's going to be great fun, and welcome to everyone here.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I really I want to take a moment to acknowledge both of you for being willing to be on live video. Let's just like all pat ourselves on the back for a second. Right? Let's just like pat ourselves on the back like this. I know each of us had something that came up for us around doing a live video and sharing ourselves and being vulnerable, and how we got to all kind of collect together and realize that there's ups and downs, and be supporting each other, like in terms of navigating in these frequencies where there's fears or barriers, and really listening. And I think when we came together, we got to be that mirror for one another of that you know what, it's okay. And in community, we can navigate difficult times, and in this beautiful three-way with this intelligence and with each other. And so I just really want to acknowledge you guys for being willing to come here today and be vulnerable and share your story with everyone. And it's been a real honor and privilege to get to work with both of you, and I look forward to continuing that as well. So without further ado, why don't we get into what's unfolded for us since the Catalyst weekend, and share the unfolding that has happened since then. And let's even be a little vulnerable and tell everybody what life was like before the Catalyst weekend. So it really gives a context for what's unfolded since then in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I just like to say, like, this is also a first for me, doing any kind of Facebook Live video. So again, because being connected with the Reconnection, this is another goal that something I've been wanting to do for a long time and just never has. So this is a cool opportunity. Like I told you earlier, it's like sometimes starting is the hardest part. And, once you start, the pressure's off. So this is another breakthrough. And I'll just continue saying that, I feel like I've been on a great trajectory this year as my birthday and in April, and then meeting up for the Catalyst just sort of accelerated a lot of the growth that's been happening. It's interesting. It's very subtle for me. But it's there, and it's opening doors, and it's giving me opportunities. And even when I feel like I don't want an opportunity, like I was feeling kind of in a weird mood few weeks actually last month, and still things were happening and manifesting. And it's like, really? It's like, it just felt like there's just this call to action that's already been, I just have to show up and say yes. So even though I didn't feel like doing a few things, I said yes. And if they've taken me into these really great territories of creativity and healing and prosperity even. So
very nice.
What's going on with you, Oliver?
So basically, before I started being introduced to Reconnective healing, I've always kind of been on like a self-discovery journey, and always wanted to improve myself, and talking about personal development. But I always kind of thought there was something else that I was missing in life, not in terms of something external, but something inside me that would really catapult me to the next level. So I did come across Eric's book, and I read the book, and I thought, like, yeah, there's something to this that I really want to do, something that really resonated very deeply with me. So I then signed up for the online course, did the event in Palm Springs, and a bit similar, like Barry said, there's so many opportunities that have happened, that have opened up for me since doing that event. And the nice thing about is thinking about it now is that I didn't even force any of those opportunities. They just seemed to happen really, really organically and naturally.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the most fascinating things I've learned about reconnective healing, is that, if we just allow ourselves to step a bit more out of our own way, let things happen more without trying to manipulate things, then I think then our real self and our real true being, who we are, can really come to the fore, and then things are gonna involve a lot more in a more positive way in our life. So that's been my journey since being introduced, and yeah, I'm really excited, to be honest, what the future is gonna hold now that this has really played a big part in being a lot more aware and open-minded about what could possibly happen in life. So yeah, it's been a very, very powerful event in my life.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm with both of you in that sense of there is something more, and we've all come from a certain foundation. You both have practices in healing and work with people to bring balance in their life, and more vitality. And I too have had my own journey of foundational philosophy, right, in consciousness and energy. But we all recognize there was something more, something else, something like something else. And I think we all really heard that call with coming into contact with Reconnective healing in some way, whether it's through like an online on Facebook or a friend. And in that moment, you know, that answered that call, and we decided to listen and live into it. And it really, you know, something that I really hear with both of you are saying is, and in the way you're saying it, is just this peace, this inner peace, this peaceful unfolding.
Yeah, less struggle.
Totally less struggle.
More alignment.
A lot more ease in everyday things and in the whole doing. So that's very beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, before the program for me, my my stress was pretty intense. You know, I come from parents who are New Yorkers. They're Jewish. My mom's half Italian, a quarter Italian, or half Italian. I'm just like, and I'm an Aries, so I'm just like triple like whammy. You know, in terms of, you know, Jewish guilt and worrying and right, and it just was modeled for me, you know, and my grandparents, my parents, and to struggle in life, to suffer, to be stressed, and I really had it that like time was just like against me, you know. I'm like, even just that alone really impacted my productivity and my relationships, because who wants to be around like someone who's stressed all the time? You know, it's just bad vibes.
Yeah.
And something that happened over the weekend, I used to always try to meditate. I say try to meditate because, well, nothing was happening for me. After years, I was just like, what is the point? Why is this, like, this isn't helping me? And I could never get to quiescence, you know, and this term like can like be thrown around a lot, but I will define it for what I experience this as. With every meditation I've done, yoga, I accept Kundalini, Barry, I promise. But just like the fitness yoga and meditation, is that I could never get to a place of quiescence. And with Reconnective healing, when I was facilitating hands-on over the weekend, I got to quiescence instantly. It was instant. Like the place of being the receiver, you know. I went from before like trying to send love, you know, and really this gave me access to receive love, and in receiving love, just transcendental, just like tune. It was almost like I wasn't even there. I wasn't thinking my, and it felt good. It felt so good. And after that, it's percolated in my life, and it's unfolded in a very interesting way. Part of which was opportunities and entertainment flooded in. So I have a podcast, and I do some rapping, and nothing was really happening. And all of a sudden, huge like celebrities contacting me. And I was like, wow, something obviously opened up. Okay. That confidence too, just that peace. And then honestly though, not honestly, because actually that would insinuate that I'm not honest usually. In full transparency, what I want you to know is that I've also kind of crashed and burned. You know, like there's been I've really had to navigate some areas of my life are just not really weren't really working. And in the frequencies, it's not like after the weekend everything was fixed, right? It's like bringing these frequencies into our life, you know, and being able to see where there's still those challenges of allowing yourself to be the receiver and observer and wanting to control or force something. So I've been able to, and then after doing something so transformational like this weekend, that, you know, it comes in like, oh, I shouldn't be doing that. I should be connected, you know, and the thing that's been the greatest resource in navigating this is talking to other alumni, you know, talking to both of you, our dear friend Lauren Johnson, being able to say like, have you experienced that also? And I thought it was great when we got to talk about how, you know, we're all in we're all in our own flux, you know, and when you're empowered, I may be down, and I can come to you. And I mean, the frequencies are more, I guess what I'm trying to say is it's even more, it's also a community. And I'm grateful for some of the challenges I've been having since the weekend, because they are things I've known I've needed to feel.
Yeah.
I think you've tapped on a really important word here, which is receivership. So if there's probably one thing that stood out for me since learning reconnective healing and being trained with the frequencies, is really like a switch from our internal state of trying to have control of our life, of trying to kind of manipulate things and always being like, wanting to get a result. And kind of shifting this to the state of receivership has probably been, like, from my experience, the standout thing that I've learned, to really let the energy flow through you, to let things happen and just observe what comes out of different situations. One part of my life where I've observed this was in my daily interaction with people. Because usually, we have a conversation with someone, and then sometimes we have this feeling that we already want to say something, like we have an answer to what that person is saying, and then we kind of missing what that person, wants to express. So I've tried to incorporate that into my everyday interaction with people, and just giving the other person space to let himself or herself express. And then I think, that person can, I would say, within that moment, reach their potential of how they want to express themselves a lot more. So I think that's been one of the things that I've been most happy about since dealing with the frequencies and understanding what it means to receive, actually. And I think in the grand scheme of things, what this creates is, I would call this social glue. It's like it keeps us humans really together and keeps society together. This kind of listening, sharing, understanding. So have you felt like this as well in your daily life?
I know what impacted me. I felt I became more patient with people. Like you said, like I would just let them, I didn't feel like I had to say something. I would just hold the space and let them, express how they're feeling, close friends, even, some of my clients, and not really have to say anything, but just hold that reconnective space. And then they kind of console themselves. It pulls together somehow, and they're able to be more cohesive with what they're trying to say or feel or express. And that's it. No judgments. And just being there is enough sometimes, like the presence. Some people just like to know you're there with them. You don't need to give answers. It's my mind.
Yeah, definitely. I love looking at this area of life in terms of our relationships and interactions with people. And I have noticed, but yeah, to answer your question, like I've also noticed a huge difference. It's almost also challenging, because what I'm noticing, I'm speaking truth, but it's not necessarily aligned in the way I want to be fully expressing it. So it's like on one side, like I have gotten access to expression and some confidence. These frequencies like just really balance that out for me. Expression is definitely there, full self-expression. That landing and being received is then the thing I'm also struggling with. So it's also been really positive as well, where I've been able to speak up and have it make a big difference for different people with my podcast. We'd have some like really difficult conversations about setting up the business, and I completely disagreed with our producers. Completely, I to my grave, like I would still say, like, definite disagreement, and I was able to just like fully hear them. And when I did speak my truth, they felt they were being with me. Like they felt loved, like it was completely received. And usually when I have disagreement with people, there can be the opposite experience of it not being received, of there being tension. And for me, what I see with that is where there may be still tension and resistance in being the receiver, being the observer, that's where I can actually like listen to these frequencies and move into. Another way of that being said, I think, is like go towards the resistance, like oh, that's a fear, go there. And I'm really just trusting these frequencies to take me there. I've had a lot of different like big conversations with people that I've been avoiding to have conversations with. That to me is a triumph.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow. So relationships are being, I think, evolving for the betterment of all. You know, there's a lot of separation, and that is an absolute illusion.
So here's the topic. I remember a couple weeks ago, I wasn't feeling in the frequencies. Like I wasn't practicing. I wasn't really playing with them at all. And, you know, I think I asked you, Madison, too. Like I was kind of like poking around like, hey, are you always happy? Are you always in control? Are you always feeling great? You know, that, oh, okay. So, and then Dr. Eric came online and just like out of nowhere, he started like doing a little session with us, playing with the frequencies. And that's really, it was really appreciated. And it was so powerful to see that and feel it again. It was like a jump start. Did you guys see him or feel that from his little couple weeks ago?
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Beautiful. And it was like a transmission that came through again. I was like, oh yeah, I remember now. So it was really appreciated. We like when he does that.
Yeah, I would definitely say as well, I feel the more often I practice, just even just for a few minutes, moving my hands and trying to feel the frequencies, I think the more beneficial it is to me. And sometimes, you know, we get caught up with things in life and, you know, the usual kind of cliche of being busy. But then I kind of, you know, I find myself, you know, reminding myself and just moving my hands for a few minutes. And I do notice that the longer I do it, the more I access different layers of this kind of awareness. So yeah, definitely, I found the more I practice, the more I get out of it. Have you felt like that as well?
Yes, definitely. The more I use it, the stronger the connection feels. And sometimes I do it secretly, like I'm not telling people, you know, I'm just practicing, you know, if I'm in a car, if I'm working with someone, you know, I'm not making a big deal about it. I'm just kind of experimenting still. And, you know, still watching the registers and stuff, but just always just kind of like being a peacekeeper, you know, just being stable and holding the frequency, and people in your environment will feel it as well. You know, you don't always have to have your hands out for people to feel it. You know, we're all energy. So just staying connected and then going on my day, doing my business, whatever my day holds, you know, I'm bringing that with me. So that's how I kind of incorporate them into my day-to-day life.
Definitely. The more infrequent I am with playing with the frequencies as a practice, okay, like meditation or yoga or, you know, whatever your practice is. Whenever I am not in a consistent practice, I notice more resistance to when I do then start that. Almost like working out, like you go to the gym 4 days in a row and then you don't go for a week, and then you're like, going that next time is like really difficult, right?
Yeah.
Force yourself to do it. And so, which, you know, is beautiful though, because then if you do that, that's great. That's great. You didn't go to the gym for a week, but look, you went to the gym again. So it's not about making it right or wrong, or it's, I think there's a fluidity for each of us, and we're all going to walk away from having this experience at our Reconnective Healing Weekend. Some of us are going to be more proactive in our life. You know, and some of us may be more infrequent, and that's a beautiful spectrum. And again, like coming together in community, we can really support ourselves, support each other, and not play alone.
Yeah.
I know for myself, like I feel sometimes like, unless my best friend who did the weekend with me, we do sessions on each other back and forth, I'm still having resistance to playing and sitting with myself and playing with the frequencies every single day. Right? I mean, it's something that I then feel like I'm almost not in my integrity about what this work is, because here I am shaming myself that I didn't play with the frequencies for 4 days. And that's so not what this is about, you know?
No. but you're connected. Even if you're not playing with them, like you said, they're still a part of you. You're still been activated in this sense. So it's showing up in different areas of your life and experience in your personal life and your work life. You're excelling from what I hear and see. You're doing some really amazing things. And it's also important to give ourselves some credit for the hard work that we do. You know, you are a catalyst. Really appreciate what you've been doing here. Since I've met you, you've done such a great job keeping the community together and to get us even more involved. I love the Facebook alumni group, seeing what everyone's doing. And it's just constant every day, like fresh inspiration flows through there. It's happening all the time.
Oh. Yeah. I love you, Barry. I love you, Barry. That's,
love you
yeah. And I love you too, Oliver.
It's a love fest.
We all love each other.
Yeah, we love each other. In full transparency, also, someone is wanting to get into the Facebook Live and doesn't seem to be added to the Facebook group. So in love for this community, I think that I should send them this link or invite them right about this moment. So if I could, 20 seconds, we want everyone to be able to participate that wants to be. In the meantime, let's get some comments on where you relate to this or any insight that you have that's coming through, and we'll interact with your comments right in a moment. It's like a commercial break or something.
Who's gonna be the first one?
I thought you were waiting for the audience to like write a question. Oh, we are?
Yeah, I wanted to see some comments. All right.
Did we go through a little check where everyone's coming from? There's 26 viewers currently. I would love to see like where everyone's popping in from.
Yeah, actually, if you go on the, you can see everyone's comments on our chat, right? In Be Live. Oh, cool.
Saying where they're from?
In the beginning, I saw a lot of people on New Jersey,
Boulder, Colorado.
Australia.
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, I think would be really awesome since you both have practices. You know, Barry, you've got your Kundalini practice and are very established in your community. And Oliver, you know, I'm never going to be able to say this word. So your practice, your K, right? Kayopra. Help me out.
Capoeira.
Capoeira.
Exactly. By the way, my mom made that picture. It was really beautiful for my birthday, so it's really, really nice. Yeah. So I've got. I teach capoeira as well.
Yeah. So, and you both have these established practices, and I think it'd be really awesome to share with all of us here. You know how you've integrated it or not, and just what your observations and experience have been with that, working with your clients and students.
So one of the major things I've noticed whenever I practice and then whenever I train on my own, because capoeira is a Brazilian martial art form for everyone who doesn't know, which incorporates acrobatics, kicks, different types of movements. And I've noticed that whenever I just really get out of my own way, whenever I practice, I kind of develop movements and movement combinations that I would have never thought of before, no matter how much I try to analyze and get to a certain result by, writing things down, or how could I combine different types of things. So just by letting go and allowing myself to move without any final goal of what the movement should look like, I've come across different kinds of movement qualities which I hadn't experienced prior to that. And this is something really, really valuable to me. always wanting to improve my practice and everything. So just by allowing myself to move and to get out of my own way has really added another dimension to the expression of my movements. So overall, I would say I've become more creative in my work, which is great. And I think on a whole level as well, like I've always been very, very driven and ambitious. So I've always been attached to results and outcomes, which is good in a way. But you know, as we know, sometimes it can be a bit of an obstacle for us because we lose a bit of, you know, a broader view of things. So in an overall sense, I've kind of tried to let go now of what I could achieve with my practice and with my movements, but rather just take it moment by moment and day by day and movement by movement. And things just, like we said earlier together, things just feel a lot more easy now, a lot more effortless. And I think that's, from my opinion, one of the signs of you know, calling like self mastery and, you know, getting to know more about yourself in your practice. So that's my experience in my professional practice, just training by myself. Yeah, so Barry, I guess you've had kind of similar experiences with your yoga practice.
Yeah, it's been very busy. I've been teaching a lot. I've gotten new private clients. I'm inspired with what I'm teaching and how I'm teaching it. It's definitely more effective, I feel. Some of the students have noticed too, like, wow, you're all recharged. And it's just like a purpose that I just feel connected to. And, you know, I like doing my sound baths with gongs and crystal bowls and all that, just working in that frequency. And that's been really effective lately. A lot of people have been coming to my events and my classes and just really having the opportunity to relax. You know, the energy flows through me, it flows through the gong, and it's all working. So I just feel that, you know, what I've been into lately, what I've been teaching and presenting, it's been well received and effective and getting lots of good feedback about the impact it has on their lives. I won't get into details, but it's nice. You know, all of a sudden, like, I've gotten like 4 cards. I never usually get things like that, but people telling me how, you know, they appreciate the work we've been doing together and they're seeing the results, feeling better, more cohesive.
Yeah.
That's a word I use all the time now. It's like cohesive. I love that word, you know, it just, yeah, we're just working to become more cohesive, and that's more refined and more, you know, bright. So
Yeah,
that's my word.
I don't know why, but I'm like crying a little bit right now.
Something I said?
Yeah, this is just really lovely, you know, like as alumni being able to come together and talk about, you know, detachment from results and bringing more harmony into our life and really making a difference for people. And of course you can't disclose that because that's private information, but we get it, you know, and that we have this in common. Like, we're so different, each of us. It's funny.
We're all so unique, you know, everyone's different, but there's a commonality with it as well, you know, and it's in our heart and it's in our desire to bring light and love and information to the world, you know, to uplift, use our life as a platform. You know, we already succeeded, you know, we're already successful. You know, we just need to show up every day like we're doing and be in that frequency of connection, of self-love, knowing who we are, and really, you know, living a balanced life.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I don't know where that came from, but
that was good. It was real good.
Okay.
Real good.
Real good. Real good.
So, Madison, you told me last week that you've had some really good success with your practice as a rapper.
My practice as a rapper. I appreciate that so much. Yeah, no, I have very much. The biggest accomplishment here is the confidence and the desire and the determination to do it. And there's a beautiful unfolding coming because I've just begun. Right. I can say that I've done about 15 freestyles that are recorded. I just had had produced and filmed professionally a video of me rapping to pretty famous song that is I did a parody for, just all about pleasure, just really pleasure in life. Like, we are here to enjoy. So that was just really super healing to even do that. I'm like weirded out on camera. Like, even this whole time, I'm like, don't look at yourself. Don't look at yourself. Like, it's just so awkward and powerful.
Yeah.
And so powerful, you know, so I'm constantly just letting that go and letting it be here with all of you right on the table, raw and juicy. The rap is very close to my heart, this video of me rapping, and I'm very proud of it. And I think all of that is just, this is a first for me, all of that, even doing it and writing it. And it was a process in and of itself that happened before the weekend, but by the end of the weekend, like, you know, I thought it was going to be some like stupid little rap that I recorded on my phone. And next thing I know, like full on, like,
Professional.
Awesome in that video. Yeah. Like I'm going to just be like, I slayed, you know what I mean? And that whole experience was just from the beginning of the weekend of the Catalyst weekend, I really stepped into my catalyst. Like, no, I'm going to be a white female Jewish rapper on the side. And I'm going to speak truth through that because I can do it in a very comedic, a very unexpected way that could actually be heard by a lot of people. If I'm willing to put myself out there and be that first, do you know what I mean? And I'm a lot weirder than just those few things. Like, there goes way deep. I find that to be the next part of this unfolding. So in the last 2 weeks, I've experienced so much resistance around putting this video out. So now I have this video. And then 2 weeks later, I'm still like, can I put this on my Facebook? And even just the other day, my biggest challenge was, do I share this on Facebook or not? I mean, it's really truthful, and that's scary to be fully seen in what my stand is in life. You know, I don't know if any of you can relate to like even being a stand for reconnective healing, and being fully seen in that and declaring like, yeah, this is part of who I am, world. So that's also where I'm at right now, but huge Oh, and I left one thing out that's actually really big. These pretty famous DJs, they're definitely very famous. They are called the EC Twins. They saw one of my rap videos, actually from our Catalyst weekend when we had the mixer Saturday night at the pool, which was super fun, super lit, and with all those like bonfires. When I was like put on the spot to do that rap, like you said in the beginning, Barry, you're like, don't put me on the spot. And our musician, I went to go like wrap up with him to say like, okay, it's 10, let's cut it. And he's like, before we head out, everyone, Madison's gonna do a rap for us. And I looked at him and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get you. Like, I'm gonna get you. And it was exactly what I needed to like break through that weekend and be a catalyst for this truth of that I'm out to share with the world, that I did through my rap. And yet it's so awesome that these twins, they saw this video from the weekend that I thought was just this silly video, and they said, we love your vibes. And now I'm on their exclusive all the time VIP Black like event list. Like, I went to one of their events in Palm Springs the weekend after our Catalyst weekend for their private party, and I'm like in the exclusive VIP section, and like there's potential to do music with them. What?
Yeah.
Where did that come from? Like, what do you mean? Me? I am worthy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you are.
Right.
Very nice. It's really interesting that you mentioned the confidence factor here, where it really, you know, got you over that barrier to be like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I found out as well is I have a lot more trust in whatever, you know, the universe brings to me and whatever is going to happen in the future. I have a lot more trust and faith now since, you know, coming across reconnective healing and training with all this work. That whatever the universe brings is going to be the right thing for me. I think that's part of being able to let go of any attachment that might or might not happen in the future. And I think because of that, I think there's so much more inner capacity that I've set free to really move forward now in a way more directed and clear way. Because we all have insecurities, we have doubts, we have fears, and I think that's one of the main things that have attracted me to Reconnective Healing in the first place. When I heard Eric in one of his videos speak about, we can either do something with love or with fear, and that really kind of rang a bell inside me. And it's like, I really like that. This is so true. And yeah, since then, especially since the weekend in Palm Springs, things have gotten a lot more directed for me, and I have a lot more trust and faith that whatever is going to happen in my life is going to be the right thing. And I think that makes it easier as well for me to deal with situations whenever they come up in a lot more productive way, I would say. Because we all know, the mind can it can get a little bit self-destructive and it becomes a vicious circle. But that has subtly changed now since, and that's something I'm really, really happy about and really proud to share with you guys. Do you feel like this as well, that that's something that has changed since?
Yeah, I like what you said. You have more faith, like a knowingness. Like, I just know things are going to work out. Like, I don't put too much, stress in, like, I just don't focus on the negative. It seems like more attention focused on what is wanted and what can be. So
Nice.
yeah, I agree with that. You said it and just like hit a bell. I'm like, yeah, I remember I had a couple things come up this week, and I could have gotten overwhelmed, but I didn't. I just had trust. I know like my highest good, and like it's all can unfold as long as I don't get into that fearful space. Fear is constricting and love is expanding. So I just got to stay, loving myself and, loving life basically, to stay in the flow.
Yeah, this is reminding me of what Jillian was really, what she said over the weekend that hit me, which was be love.
Right.
Being love itself. And that to me was like, it's way simpler than being loving. Like, yeah, it just is so powerful and simple. And, in the beginning I shared with you guys about worry and concern and like taking that on. Okay, I'm going to embody that in like a Jewish Italian New York way, like, oh no, we've got a problem. Everything is a problem. Everything, and navigating that has just been like, whenever there's fear, that's exactly what I go into. And I'm like, not really committed to that. Honestly, not committed to that. And something super profound for me has been my relationship with my husband. We're just like became even more best friends. Like we're just, but like partners, I was going to say like lovers. Okay. I just said lovers, partners, lovers, best friends in a way simpler way. Like like, I'm like, this is not my enemy. Like, this guy is not my enemy. I do not need to then take my problems and then be like, you're the reason for my problems, right? Like we love to do with people we love, like fix my problem. No, it's been really peaceful. And I actually recently felt like this is the most peaceful part of my life right now. And quite frankly, it hasn't been at times. Year one of marriage was like war. It was like war. It was like a hot war, but it was a war.
Trying to find your way.
Right. And like,
this is so great that both of you were able to do that training together. I think that's a great thing for couples, to go through that experience.
Yeah. We've been really like our energy. Like, it's just like, even every time we touch, it's just like, I can feel it almost feels like I can feel every ridge on his palm, it's like, like melty. Yeah.
Very nice.
It's been profound. It really has been. And I think getting, something I want to just appreciate so much right now is you guys. I'm, meeting you over the weekend and developing friendship. I'm Barry. I've enjoyed our calls on support calls. Have been amazing. And Oliver, very excited to see your engagement, further engagement with the Reconnection and really taking on UK and bringing Reconnective Healing to the UK. It's pouring rain right now. I think that like this is so love. It's like pouring love. I can't even handle it.
It's raining in Palm Springs too. So
Whoa.
it's unseasonably cold. It's great. It's been cloudy and rainy all day for May. So
I always feel like rain is a reward in Southern California.
Yes.
It's like you guys have been good.
The weather. Underneath the water.
All falling into place.
Anything exciting that you guys are looking forward to before we end this call? Anytime soon? Like anything? What's next on your horizon that you're really excited about? If anything.
Yeah.
Really good question. To be honest, just the pure excitement of what every day could bring in terms of opportunities that haven't arisen before. I think that's what excites me most. I think that's also part of me looking less into the distant future of where I'd like to be in my life, but be more like bringing it to the here and now and just being aware of what arises in the moment. I think that's kind of a step into the unknown at the same time, but it kind of makes it really, really exciting and kind of raises, kind of has raised my awareness. It's just that, pleasure and acceptance and feeling about that little things in your life can actually have a really powerful impact on you. So that's what really excites me, that what I look forward to. What are you guys looking forward to?
Love what you said. Love this question. What a great question to leave us all in and inquire. And I encourage everyone right now too that's listening to this to share what you're looking forward to too. That's a great place to think from. For me, so the EC Twins invited me to another VIP, to be VIP with them again this Friday. So I'm very much looking forward to that. I am a member. I go to Mosaic in Hollywood a couple times a month on Sundays with my husband, and we just got into the community. So Friday night we have a dinner before this awesome party that we're going to with people from this community. Looking forward to sharing Connect there, spending quality time with my husband. I'm also really looking forward to, with my podcast, I just finished building our entire online store of products, and it's, all about the, pleasure and radiance and self-care and love. And I'm excited. We have this whole campaign going right now, so that's connected to the store. So I'm really excited to see like the money that starts pouring in for us to start putting money into our podcast for editing and, social media, so that we don't have to keep doing it and we can focus on really like taking this to like, maybe doing really big things to take this to the next level for us.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. And I'm excited to play in the rain later today.
In that drum circle.
In a drum circle.
What about you, Barry?
I'm excited that one of these opportunities popped up this month. Somebody wanted me to do some gong recording on one of their CDs they're making, and he loved it so much, and the producer loved it, that it kind of evolved into me creating my own CD. So I just finished recording 3 tracks of a gong meditation, and one even with vocals. And I've never considered myself a singer, and it's not really like singing. It's more like ethereal chants over my gong playing. Over my, it was like 5 tracks we did. Like I did my gong, I did singing bowls, wind chimes, and like some other things. And it was just like, wow, I got the chance to really be a musician for a week. So that's coming out. And I was just thinking about it the other day. I'm like, I already succeeded. It doesn't matter like how many people see it, view it, watch it, is that I created something that's going to live on forever. And someone's going to benefit from it at some point. And that's exciting.
Very nice.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
I hope you're gonna share this work with us. I'd love to.
Sure will. Oh yes, all my crazy stuff. I'm a crazy. I'm very serious and very spiritual, but I also have a very playful side. And to me, it's important to have both. Like I don't want to be like that uptight spiritual person. I think you need to have a sense of humor in life and really be human too. So you'll see a lot of stuff coming up. My funky dance videos or whatever.
All right, I love you. My mother's in Palm Springs this weekend, and I kind of want to like take an excuse to come out and hang out with you and her.
Yeah, do it.
You guys are so great. I love the community we're building here together and with everyone. Like, thank you everyone for coming and being here with us. If this was pleasant and you want more of this and you enjoyed being in this conversation, or if you even want to be one of us and put yourself on video,
do it. Share.
Just comment and let's do it and let's set it up and share. This was wow, it's thundering. Okay, I hear you. Thank you so much for being here. And I love you both. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this crazy thing with me today.
You did it.
Thank you too.
Victory. It's been great.
You did it, Barry, and all of it.
I loved it. Thank you.
Is this going to be one of those awkward say goodbyes for 10 minutes? No.
No. I'm out. Ciao.
Ciao.
See ya.